New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
And hello again, dear ones. Dr. Robert with you here on a Friday evening. It's 5 o'clock on the Mountain Time Zone, and that means it is time for our weekly look at the good news stories, a variation and a variety of things that have found their way across my desk throughout the week. And I love to share those with you. Trust you'll find some inspiration here to carry you into the weekend. Perhaps some great stories you want to share with your friends and neighbors as well. Let's get it started here this evening. And in getting it started, I want to refer back to something I was taught when I first found this New Thought philosophy about 20 years ago. And that was a vision of a world where borders are irrelevant. Well, we're not there yet. And thanks to the COVID pandemic, things changed, but things are thawing again too. After 5 years, direct flights between China and India are resuming. The foreign ministry delegations from India and China have worked for a number of months, cultivating in a recent agreement to resume commercial flights that once totaled 500 direct trips per month. Relations between the two neighbors have remained frosty since a clash in 2020 high in the Himalayas. Along a disputed border at over 12,000 feet above sea level in a Himalayan region called Ladakh. Both sides claim territory that the other considers theirs. Now, there hasn't been a direct dispute since 1960s. However, again, in 2020, squadrons of troops clashed while running into each other on patrol. No one fired any shots. No one, however, 20 people were killed in what many considered a very large street brawl. After all of that, everything was completely shut down, and Indian Buddhist pilgrims were prevented from visiting Tibet. Numerous Chinese applications, products, and investment were banned in India. And security presences along in the region grew menacingly. Now, a map of the CIA World Fact Book anointed with border disputes between India and China. They're saying the improvement and development of China-India relations is fully in line with the fundamental interests of the two countries. Flights are resuming between China and India. Good news! A world where borders are becoming less relevant, at least. But hey, it is good to have some things that have relevance. And one of them are old train stations. I found this story and I was really intrigued because I have visited 2 of these train stations and have lived in 2 of the cities that are mentioned in the article. One of those that I have not lived in is Detroit. The Michigan Central Station is a case where it was shuttered, unloved, and picked over by scavengers, and it has been since resuscitated thanks to a $1 billion investment by Ford Motor Company. Ford's been turning it into a multi-use facility that includes 13 acres of parks, office space for startups, along with some for Ford itself. The hotel will occupy 4 of the 16 floors in the main tower of the station. That's what you're looking at there on your screen. Denver Union Station has undergone over 54 million in reservations now. That's over the last 24 years. However, it is seeing increased traffic, and the rail traffic's up to over 10,000 people per day as measured throughout 2024. I've gone through that rail station myself. The light rail into downtown Denver is way easy and convenient. Check it out. Now, this is also happening in Salt Lake City. The Union Pacific Depot saw a decline in rail traffic after Amtrak took over the lines from Rio Grande. By 86, even Amtrak had left and built a new station. And in 97, both of those were discontinued, and the depot was made redundant. Well, in January of 2006, there was a music and restaurant venue there called The Depot. I've seen a few shows there. However, in 2024, it became part of what is now known as Asher Adams Hotel, named in homage to the two men who first depicted railroad routes. It contains 225 rooms and 13 luxury suites. It's also the gateway to the Gateway development, a large shopping and business space. All kinds of good news for old buildings. That's what we like to hear. And hey, speaking of old buildings, well, all right, maybe not old buildings, but older people. They're saying 70s is the new 60s. I'm 58. I love hearing this. Age-related declines experienced by older adults have significantly slowed down, according to a new study published last month in Nature Aging. Improvements in education, nutrition, and sanitation across the 20th century likely played key roles in the improvement of cognitive, locomotive, psychological, and sensory capacities. Now, the study from the Robert N. Butler Columbia Aging Center at the Mailman School of Public Health uncovered significant improvements in the health of older adults in England when compared to previous generations. Instead of measuring health as the presence or absence of disease, researchers applied a new approach that examined trends in people's functioning, their cognitive, locomotive, psychological, and physiological and sensory abilities. Makes sense to me. Seems like we should have been doing this all the way along. According to the study's authors, medical advances such as joint replacements and better treatment for chronic conditions were also likely to be contributing factors. We were surprised by just how large these improvements were, particularly when comparing people born after World War II with earlier groups. I would believe that is too. War has a tendency to lower some expectations. But hey, I love hearing these types of stories. As we continue to age, we continue to choose. And as we continue to choose, we have the opportunity to look for new and innovative solutions and healing modalities, as well as healing mechanisms. The solution is in the pill and the prayer. And I like the idea of all of us getting older together. I think that would be a great thing. Hey, folks, remember, we get most of our good news stories over at the goodnewsnetwork.org. They do a great job of curating good news stories, and we invite you to join them, check them out, learn more about what they're doing over at their website. Give them some of the love and attention that they deserve. We need to take a quick commercial break, let a couple of our sponsors tell you a little bit more about who they are and learn a little bit more about what we're doing here at the New Thought Media Network. But we're going to be right back after these messages with more of the good news. Stay tuned. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Let your friends and family know what we're doing. We'll be right back after these messages.
Join our celebration of Black History Month. Only on New Thought Media Network. New videos every day at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, or watch anytime on our YouTube channel. 28 unique Black History moments. Every day in February. Only on New Thought Media Network.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents the 2025 Season for Nonviolence 64-day meditation series, January 30th through April 4th. New meditations published daily at 6 a.m. Eastern Time on our YouTube channel. Join us as we carry the vision of a world that works for all. Only on New Thought Media Network. Learn more at www.ntmedia.org.
Folks, in today's environment where civil rights and human rights are being attacked on multiple fronts and in multiple ways, it's more important than ever for us to celebrate the voices, the presence, and the contribution of our African American brothers and sisters. Everyone of any color is a vital and necessary aspect of the American experience. I invite you to like, share, and subscribe, and be sure to send our videos around the world this Black History Month as we step in with tomorrow's first episode, airing at 6 a.m. Mountain Time. Like and share and subscribe. Spread the good news of what we're doing here on New Thought Media Network. All right, back into the good news stories. You folks know I love a good pet story, and hey, we've reported on this type of thing before. A whole slew of dogs are being trained as medical detection dogs in the UK. They smell urine pots, and in the first part of their training, the Cocker Spaniels, Labradors, and Retrievers are showing real sign of success smelling out bowel cancer. Now, they've already been able to sniff out Parkinson's and COVID accurately through various trainings, and now they're tackling the bowel cancer piece. The charity has been investigating the odor of diseases for 15 years, said the head of communications at the charity in Milton Keynes. We've lost the name here. I don't know what I did with the name there. Sorry about that. The bowel cancer study is new to us, but detection is not. The training program involves early scent training, and now the organization is bringing forward. They've had pups, so even their pups are now being trained from the very earliest days possible for this kind of work. The organization SWNS. The Medical Detection Dog Charity. What a great story. I love it. Puppy dogs doing the good work, helping all of us stay safe. And in another great story in the medical front, as general anesthetic has been found to have the potential added benefit of stimulating a neuroprotective effect against Alzheimer's disease. Xenon is a colorless, odorless, noble gas used for many purposes in science, but a recent study in mice found it stimulated the brain's resident immune system, which can protect against Alzheimer's, leading to reduced neuroinflammation and minimized brain atrophy and promoted protective neuronal states. Now, Alzheimer's disease is the most prevalent neurodegenerative disease in human beings, and it's believed to be caused by the buildup of toxic proteins called both DAWA and beta amyloid in the brain. Drugs that clear these snags haven't been able to slow the progression of the disease, however, and as a result, neither the driver nor the cure is well understood. Inhaling xenon gas was found in laboratory work at Brigham and Women's Hospital to treat a mouse model of Alzheimer's, in which one group was suffering from buildup of the DAWA and second from the beta amyloid. Able to cross the blood-brain barrier, xenon gas seems to perk the mice right up, which became particularly active in the building and maintaining of their nests. Post-trial examinations found that the gas induced and increased a protective microglial response, typical of the kind that creates both of the proteins. It's very novel discovery showing that simply inhaling an inert gas can have such a profound neuroprotective effect. That's according to some of the study's authors. Healthy volunteers are currently being enrolled at a hospital for a phase 1 trial on dosage and safety for humans. SciTech Daily reports the team is also devising technologies to use xenon gas more effectively, as well as potentially recycle the gas, which would be another great addition to the whole idea. Oh my gosh, golly gee. What a great idea that could be. Hey, here's a heartwarming story that we found, and it comes to us from Chicago. It all unfolded in a Mariano's grocery store in Jefferson Park, Chicago, and it's inspiring kindness across the city. Lynn Shockey, a senior citizen who resides in a local housing community, shared her gratitude after a stranger stepped in to pay for her groceries when her benefit card unexpectedly failed. The whole thing happened as Shockey's grocery total came to about $200, and she was looking to cover the cost with cash that she had on hand from Christmas. Realizing she didn't have enough, she started to remove items from her cart when the man behind her, accompanied by a young boy around 10 and a little girl around 3, offered to cover the balance. Overwhelmed by this selfishness, Shockey described the encounter in a heartfelt post on the Nextdoor app. There was a man with a boy of around 10 or 12 years old and a little girl probably around 3. I was talking to him about his kids, and my groceries came out to $200, and my U-card wouldn't work. So I had cash on me for Christmas. I didn't have enough, so I was picking out what I didn't need, and the gentleman behind me with the kids paid for the balance and I didn't have. What a blessed thing he did in melting my heart. My Christmas wasn't very good, and God had brought him to me. Shockey does hope to reconnect with the kind stranger, however, decided to pay it forward by cooking soup for her neighbors at the senior housing where she lives. Her story's been spreading online, inspiring others to embrace the small acts of compassion that make a big impact. Here on New Thought Media Network, we encourage you in that behalf as well. Make those small, kind acts can make a big, big difference. We encourage you to be part of that. And sometimes, hey, you never know where those kind acts are going to happen. Local firefighters in Florida's Sanibel Islands were alerted to a turtle that had fallen into a local sewer drain. What's more, it seemed to the first responders that the turtle lacked, let's say, the right mutations or ninja agilities to escape the sewer and needed some help. Captain Robert Wilkins and his team received a call from a local on a December day shortly before Christmas. The call came into the firehouse, and the woman was quite distraught. She was telling us the turtle was in a drain and had been there for 3 or 4 days. She had tried calling other agencies, and no help had arrived as yet. As a sanctuary island for species of all types, the drain is located in a nearby strip mall. Down below, there was enough water to keep the turtle's skin moist, but all around were piles of muck and debris. Wilkins and his team told local news that the turtle was armed with neither sword nor nunchucks. Yes, we're going to keep playing on that Ninja Turtle theme. And despite the short-sighted decision not to bring any pizza, the turtle surprisingly didn't ask for any. They were able to open the grate and save the turtle. We held him up and asked the people around what we should call him, and the children said Mr. Pickles because he had gotten himself into a pickle. Nothing like saving a punny turtle. Is there now? Folks, I love having a good time here on the Friday night good news on here on the New Thought Media Network. I want to thank you for being a part of letting us do this, being a part of what makes all of this work. And there are a lot of organizations and sponsors that we would love to say thank you to as well. So we're going to take another minute and do that. Please don't go away. Don't take off. We've got more news coming up, including our hero of the week. But before we do that, let's say thank you to our organizational sponsors and individual donors. Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring. Yes. Thank you to all of our organizational sponsors and individual donors. We appreciate your support and ability to share this message around the world. And folks, before we go away tonight, if you happen to be watching live, I want to encourage you to join us and me over on the Center for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley YouTube page later this evening for a special, I can't say one-time event, but it's only going to happen once a month. Ask me anything. Yes, anything. You can ask any question you want, and I'm going to answer it or give you an answer. Some sort. This is part of the New Thought, the Center for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley, and their efforts to reach a larger audience as well. Please join us tonight, 7:30 Mountain Time, on the New Thought Media Network and over on the Center for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley YouTube page, sponsored by New Thought Media Network. All right, let's get back into the good news. Oh, where'd I go? There we go. Let's get back into the good news. We do have a good news story coming from the fires in LA. A California fire chief single-handedly saved his brother's house and that of his neighbor using only a carton of milk and a couple of beers. You might believe this. Well, we're going to believe this story because I pulled it up. Brian Fennis, he said that that was a first despite his almost 50-year career in a firefighter. Now, once Fennessy heard of the Eaton fire above Altadena, California, he went to check on his brother. As he got there, he was driving through areas that were already fire devastated and learned along the way that his brother had evacuated and left his house to the world. Well, as he got to his brother's house, other homes in the area were already engulfed. His brother's house, however, had not yet been touched, and neither had the neighbors. It was at that point he noticed a gas meter near the back of the house was dangerously close had caught fire and was ready to leak gas. There was a hose, but no water came out of the hose. He ran to the refrigerator, found a couple of beers and a carton of milk, ran back and cooled off the gas meter and poured the milk and the beers on the gas meter, kicked back the fire a little bit, and as it turned out, the two houses were saved. They became the only houses in the neighborhood not to burn. Brian, I'm sure your brother thinks you're a hero. We think you're pretty much of a hero as well. Oh my word! Thank you, Brian, for being a part of the good news and making life a little bit better for your neighbor, for your brother, and his neighbor. Folks, this one comes from that department of you never know how it's going to work out. A young man has been rewarded for working tirelessly through a blizzard. This all happened in Brownsburg, Indiana. A pizza delivery driver walked away from the door of an affluent house with nothing but a $2 tip. However, as it all worked out, a police officer was sort of watching, found the guy, saw what, and stopped the delivery driver. Now he was trying to Stefanos is the gentleman's name. He was out delivering pizzas on a Monday night in Wisconsin. In the middle of a blizzard, and got stuck on a closed road. Had to walk to deliver a pizza. Now, it was a $40 order of food, and the unknown homeowner only tipped $2. Well, police officer Richard Craig was filming a TikTok at the time, decided to ask Craig Stefanoff why he was walking through the drifts of snow. Stefanoff let the whole story fly. Craig thought that wasn't good enough, put it on TikTok, started a GoFundMe, trying to get $500. Well, somebody donated $1,500 right off the start, and before long, over 2,000 people raised over $39,000. This was all at the time that our sources published the story. It might be more. I still don't believe it's real, but it is, Stefanos said to a local news agency. The owner of the pizza shop, Rockstar Pizza, Ron Matthews, said Stefanoff is well deserving of the attention. He wasn't here in the restaurant. He had no idea people were watching him. He got out, walked to the house, and came out without any expectations. And he is now $40,000 richer because of it. Good news. Be sure, folks, do what it takes and do the good work, and we are rewarded. All right. Hey, it's that time. We do this every week. It's time for our Hero of the Week. On a frigid Monday night in Wisconsin, Tanner Ader sprang into action to save two people from a fiery car crash, earning the admiration of the community and the title of hero. The incident unfolded while Ader heard a loud bang outside his apartment and turned to investigate. Police reported that a car had collided with a fire hydrant, careened down an embankment, and struck a tree. The vehicle came to rest on its side, and flames began to engulf the engine. Ader wasted no time. Spotting a woman screaming for help, he grabbed his snow gear, phone, and a fire extinguisher and started driving his tow truck to the crash site. Upon arrival, he extinguished the flames and helped the woman, who was perched atop the overturned vehicle, get down and get to safety. Battling thick smoke and sub-zero temperatures, Ader's heroic efforts were far from over, however. I got the wife off, but the main one was the husband, who was still inside the car. Flames were starting to re-engulf the car, said Ader. I was worried I wasn't going to get him out in time, but thank God the cop got on scene when he did, because without his help, I wouldn't have gotten him out. Temperatures were estimated to be negative 8 degrees Fahrenheit during the rescue. I didn't have any gloves on, and my hands were almost frostbite, Ader told a local news interviewer. At that point in time, I didn't think of anything else to grab. Just wanted to get out of there and rescue them because I saw smoke coming from the car. Both the individuals were transported to the hospital. The female passenger has since been released. The male driver remains hospitalized with unknown injuries. Police have praised Ader's actions on social media. The heroic citizen who leaped into action, rescuing the passenger and driver from the burning vehicle, is 30-year-old Tanner Ader of Nehan, the department wrote. We're thankful to the Winnebago County, Wisconsin Sheriff's Office, Nina Menasha Fire Rescue, and Gold Cross Ambulance for the assistance on the scene. Dear sir, you are our hero of the week. Thank you for being a part of this, a part of the good news that's happening in America. Folks, if you know some good news we should cover, please send us an email, goodnews@ntmedia.org. I've run a little long, so we're going to get out of here for tonight. But I want to thank you again for being with us. Come back again real soon. Tune in at 6 o'clock in just a half hour. Reverend Michael Mangus with our fireside chat. And again, remember, later tonight, 7:30 Mountain Time, Ask Me Anything. I'm going to be hanging out online answering your questions. Until next time, I want to wish you peace and richest blessings. Bye now.